Well, it is 8:30 on the dot, Mr. Bolin. I think we should probably get this party started here. So
let's go ahead and push the play button.
Okay, let's do that. So I'm going to go ahead and hide everybody here on the top. So a little less distracting for me. And, I kind of feel like this is deja vu all over again. What am I doing? I'm Jayson Savage with Oliver Marketing, but here I am doing another Sony presentation. All kidding aside, really happy to be able to join you guys here this morning, and grateful for you guys taking the time out to listen to us do a little spiel here. As you guys already know, I'm Jayson Savage, formerly with Sony Electronics, now with Oliver Marketing. I cover the Pacific Northwest territory, but we work in collaboration with Mr. Bolin, Mr. Dawson, Mr. Balhorn down there in the Northern California market. So again, grateful for you guys taking the time out today to listen to us, give you a few updates here for the holiday season and some things to think about as we look to the future and as we look into 2024. So of course, Sony is an audio company at its founding and its core. So just want to remind you that Sony's got some really great ES receivers that are out on the market this year. I can actually take a little bit of personal credit because I was involved with the development during the gestation period for bringing these new receivers to market. But it's a big update for 2023, and of course, as you look to build your AV systems out into 2024 and beyond, you're going to have a really solid, reliable platform to be able to build your AV system around. Complete redesign from the ground up. So things that we asked for, like more power, better connectivity, wide power band amplifier, and really solid construction are all hallmarks of the new ES products. And of course, beyond just build quality and bells and whistles, Sony's got really strong partnerships with all the integration partners out there. So if you see your control company du jour listed up there, and I'm probably sure you see them listed there, guess what? Sony's got a driver and Sony's got a way to be able to talk to those devices, and you'll be able to control them via any of the partners that see up there. Some big ones, of course, are Oversee. And, for the audio guys out there, maybe you want to be able to share music through Roon or something like that. So lots of different ways to integrate Sony into various projects and situations out there. On top of that, of course, Sony's got a ready-made setup to make your installation go super duper easy. So plug the unit into a network port or get the unit up on the network. You want to be able to configure it, be able to access it. There's a button right on the front of the unit to be able to pop up the MAC address as well as the IP address right on the front of the unit. And then, of course, you can map that for your control systems. You can map that for Oversee to be able to get that two-way communication and be able to get status. And again, these are all things that are, I would say, base level expectations for custom integrators out there these days. You want to be able to talk to these things. You want to be able to control them. Again, that's really what the AZ series of receivers is really designed to do, to make your integrations go faster, go simpler, be more profitable, and be powerful, be exciting for your customers to be able to enjoy when they're watching their movies, gaming with their friends, having a football game, something like that. And it's not just me telling you that it's wonderful. It's not just Sony telling you that it's wonderful. There's a lot of great reviews out there for this product. CE Pro loves the new AV receivers, and somebody who is not one that can be bought or sold, Mr. Andrew Robinson, gave us a glowing review. So don't just take his word for it. If you have an opportunity to put an ES receiver into a project, give it a shot. I'm positive you're going to be surprised and excited by the performance and what you get out of it. On top of some of the other things that we've talked about so far, Sonos integration is obviously a huge feature on the new receivers, and something that we've had previously, but actually has the Works with Sonos certification on it. And for anybody that's out there that's running into any issues integrating with Sonos, Sony being proactive, Sony working with the factory out there. If you have any issues with a 6-zone or larger Sonos system, There's an over-the-air firmware update that's been pushed out that resolves any connectivity issues and actually makes connecting and discovering the Sonos units go much faster. So again, not only are we looking at the great feature sets and the products that you guys are integrating with out there, but Sony's working at a factory level to make sure that those products perform at the level that you expect them to. Some of the great audio performance benefits for this year. So things like 360 SSM, so you can integrate with a Sony AV receiver, and even if it's an imperfect room, give your customer that perfect room experience. So I can tell you from firsthand experience from playing with this, it's like somebody cut in 20 extra speakers into the room. If you've got an ideal home theater setup, this isn't a feature that really makes a big difference in that respect. But if you don't have a perfect theater room, maybe you're doing a living room or a open media area, something like that, where you've got a lot of irregular speaker placement, that kind of stuff, the 360 SSM actually does a lot to improve the experience in that room. So it can actually do a very convincing job of turning that open media space or that shared living room into what sounds like a dedicated media space. And then some other custom integration features that are part of the new ES lineup, the ability to integrate multiple different ways with a center channel. So you can do things like if you're integrating with a Sony display, do the center speaker lift up. So we can actually use the center channel speaker as well as the audio that's built into the TV to sort of create that feeling where, hey, even though the center channel is down below, the TV, my experience or what I'm taking in looks like it's and feels like the sound's coming directly out of the screen. So that's one of the features that we've got. There's another feature called Acoustic Center Sync, which actually integrates, again, the audio system in the TV with the center channel speaker to give you a much bigger, much wider vocal soundstage. And then for maybe the home theater crowd out there, maybe you've got a tall screen. I probably wouldn't use this feature with a television, but maybe you've got a 150 or 160 inch screen, and it's not acoustically transparent. So with a dual center speaker mode, you can actually power two different center channel speakers directly from the amplifier. So you can maybe direct one towards the front row of the audience. Maybe you've got a riser in the room or something, and then you can use the center channel speaker on top of the screen to feed that back row. So lots of different ways to customize the performance, lots of different ways to integrate with the receivers, lots of different connectivity out there. So really when it comes down to what's the cornerstone of my AV system for 2024 from Sony, it's going to be the new ES AV receivers. So a few things, of course, here to look at. Price points, we start at the new entry-level price point of right around $1,100 for the 1000 ES. Great 7.2 channel receiver, pretty much all the meat and potatoes you need, and none of the extra pre-outs and stuff like that if it's just a simple single room solution. But as you move up from the 1000 to the 3000, the 5000, 7000, you're going to get more channels of amplification, you're going to get more power, you're going to get more pre-outs, that kind of stuff. And we've kind of made the joke, when are you going to do a pre-pro? And the answer is we make two of them. We've got the 7000 and the 5000. They have either 11 channel or 13 channel pre-outs, and you also happen to get 11 or 13 channels of amplification for free on board if that's what you want to do. So the real answer to that is, if we want to get extra components like that in the future, we got to sell the heck out of the ones that we've got. So please, if you haven't already, give the new ES receiver lineup a chance. I think, again, you're going to be pleasantly surprised. Just a quick eye chart here for everybody to memorize before I move on to the next slide, but really just calling out the fact that we've got HDMI connectivity, we've got 8K support for 4K 120. So for the gamers out there, if they're worried about how am I going to be able to get the best performance out of my gaming system through the receiver, Sony's all set up for that. And of course, all the audio and connectivity that we've already talked about. So there's a story for ES Audio, and again, please feel free to throw your questions up in the chat. You know, we've got some keen Sony minds watching the chat here. If you have questions, so please throw them up in there. We'll be happy to answer those for you. Moving on into the king of TVs, you know, this is another huge story for the holidays, and of course, it's not all about the holiday season. We're looking at you know, some of the prime selling months of the year for television with you know, the big game and all that stuff coming up here. I think it's a copyrighted word. I'm not supposed to say Super Bowl, but oh crap. All right. So moving on here with the A95L. You guys are making a lot of hay out of this television. It's the winner of the 2023 TV Shootout, king of 4K TVs out there. So one of the best in standard dynamic range, one of the best HDR performance, and one best out of the box performance, which is a key selling point for you guys. It's great to have all these wonderful pieces of technology out there, but if you have to spend several $100s maybe on top of it to extract the maximum performance out of it, okay, that's a great selling opportunity, but maybe not all your clients are going to be interested in that. It's really cool to have one that basically you can take it out of the box, you know, put it in the reference mode or put it in the custom mode, and guess what? You've got the best TV on the market out there hanging on your wall with very minimal adjustment. So as integrators, that's great news because time is money. And for customers out there, this is the best looking, best sounding, best performing TV on the market that you can get. And it makes it really easy when a customer says, what's the best one that you got? Easy to say, A95L, available in 55, 65, and 77-inch screen sizes, right? So there's a lot of hay to be made out of this, and it makes it easy if you're having these conversations. These are super, you know, these are easy buttons to press when customers want to talk to you about displays or when you're approaching your client about a TV. And these are going to be for those prime viewing locations, right? These are going to be those ones that I don't know, really stand out. These are be the statement pieces, right? You know, this is going to be for the best spot in the house. And again, I think with the kind of performance this display gets, the kind of sound, and of course the looks of this thing, it's really going to fit into just about any place that you want it to in the home. Of course, wouldn't be anything without the XR processor. So Sony's cognitive image processor really brings out the full capabilities of this panel. There's another company out there that uses the same panel tech in their flagship display, and that TV's not winning that TV's not winning the King of TV awards out there. Let's just put it that way. But it's not for lack of effort, but really the key difference between any other manufacturer's product and the Sony product is going to be the processing. So XR processor really brings all of that horsepower to bear and directs it and manages it in a way to make sure that, again, you're getting the best picture quality possible. And if you really have to buy an outboard scaling box or an outboard processor to get anywhere near the kind of image fidelity and image quality that this little box creates and you know, can put on the screen for your customers out there. So A95L, you know, one of the other key differences between A95K is this TV is twice as bright as the A95L. So again, moving even brighter than the model that it replaces. So you can put this display into more rooms with higher ambient light with less penalty. So what I've seen on some independent reviews out there that some people have done some metering on this TV, it's every bit as bright as a mini LED display out there. So, you know, X93, X95 are fantastic displays, and they go much bigger than what A95 does. But if you don't need bigger than you don't need bigger than 77 inches, A95 can go into any room. It's bright enough to overcome ambient light and be able to watch it on those bright sunny days, as well as obviously get the benefits of it when it's you know, movie night or, you know, time to snuggle on the couch and watch a movie with your significant other in a darker setting. Going to be able to be the champ at just about everything you put it at. So just a quick eye chart again here, just to kind of cover all of the details in a snapshot for what the A95 can do. Again, XR cognitive processor. It's Sony's master series, so it's the best of the best. It's got Sony's OLED Contrast Pro. So the XR OLED Contrast Pro essentially refers to the type of panel. It's a QD OLED panel. Fantastic motion. This display has the Acoustic Surface Audio Plus. So the entire screen is actually the audio system of this TV. So again, great sound if maybe a customer doesn't want to spring for a sound bar or something like that. But alternatively, it also has acoustic center sync mode and center channel speaker mode. So if you want to integrate with this TV, like we were talking about in the slides with an ES receiver or a Sony soundbar, something like that, you could actually utilize the audio system that's built into the TV as a center channel speaker and incorporate it into a larger surround sound system. Again, we talked about the 3 different screen sizes, 65, 55, and that beautiful 77-inch TV that comes in at an unbelievable retail price of $5,000. I still can't believe that TV is that affordable, considering the price of the OLEDs that I paid for some TVs here in my house that are not as beautiful or large or fancy. So again, great value for customers out there. And of course, it does feature Sony's Bravia cam, so you can interact with the TV virtually if you'd like to. We've got the multi-view game system, multi-view. We've got game view. We've got some cool features where you can connect the PlayStation and see the menu on the screen. Sony's content channel du jour, the Bravia Core Network, all available along with all the other apps and stuff that are on the Google Play Store. And you heard me mention it here briefly. There is a new gaming feature, new gaming menu that is part of this display, and I'm sure we will see this roll out in the future across other sets. But if you integrate a PlayStation 5 into an A95L and you turn on, you pop up the menu, there's actually some extra gaming features that are built into this display, like things like a crosshair. You can actually have a fixed crosshair on the screen all the time. You can engage or disengage the variable refresh rate, motion flow. You can kind of flatten out the black features in the TV so you can get the best contrast and best gaming performance. So another way that Sony's leveraging some of the other pillars in their arsenal to the display market. So just some cool ways that Sony's integrating with other components in the Sony lineup. And again, all part of the A95. You get the best of the best, you're going to get the best of the best features. And then last, but certainly not least, and I know the reason that you guys all joined us this morning was for the update on the Leon frame for Bravia X93 and X93 series televisions. Let me just move out of the way, or Bravia XR. Sorry, I'm trying to get in the right way here so I'm not blocking some of the pertinent information here on the screen. So this is a big move for Sony. This is a big partnership, right? And just to be clear, this is a Leon product that's designed to fit on Sony TVs. This is not a Sony product that Leon's making. This is a Leon product that is purpose-built specifically for Sony X93 televisions. So available in 65 and 75, just to make sure that we're clear on that. You get sleek design. Leon is famous for their build quality. They've designed these frame kits to go around these sets to not block things like sound quality, and they've incorporated IR pass-through and stuff like that. So they've really engineered the displays to be able to function like you would expect, it to. So you're going to get all the benefits of the beautiful form factor, but also the benefits of a fantastic viewing experience when you're ready to actually use it as a television. So there is, of course, let's just talk about it here, the elephant in the room. It's not a purpose-built frame TV. It's not, an inch and a half thick or anything like that, right? It's still a regular Sony TV that has a frame that's attached to the outside of it. Some of the benefits, however, to that are no one connect box to deal with. And again, you've got a much higher fit and finish and quality of the install when you're talking about it at the end of the day. So, and I've personally seen lots of different frames. I think it's something I'm maybe a little more sensitive to now, given the circumstances, right? But because of this product coming out there. But when I look at big pieces of art in people's homes, or I look at some of the mirrors in people's homes, or I look at some of the other framework in our neighbors' homes, our friends' houses, what have you, it seems like the centerpiece, or maybe more of the prime things that they're looking at that they want to showcase in their homes, excuse me, have that nicer, thicker frame. So, I think there's a reasonable argument to be made here that this is not an objectionable size, and it really sells the sizzle, if you will, on, hey, this is actually frame, but frame technology, right? Ways to interact with it that look beautiful and finish off an install for a display without any of the drawbacks, I guess, in terms of like, how am I going to manage this extra technology, or where am I going to put this extra thing? Trying to put this over a mantle, stuff like that. One Connect box becomes really, really problematic in those installs. This display is all self-contained. If you sell it with the Sony wall bracket and fold it right up against the wall, you're about 1/8 of an inch off the wall. So maybe you're 3 1/4, 2 3/4, something like that, in terms of total depth. So, not unreasonable, not something that you can't integrate into a client's home and have it look beautiful. So some of the things to talk about here, obviously the display is a huge part of the solution here. So designed specifically for the X93 mini LEDs. So best performance that we have in a mini LED product from Sony in 4K, available in 65 and 75-inch screen sizes. And you'll be able to retrofit this kit onto any existing X93s without having to remove the kit from the wall. So you don't have to take the TV off the wall to install this thing if you don't want to. It utilizes the Sony Art Frame Gallery app. So there is an app that Sony's developed that will have all the artwork built inside of it. So there'll be 70 works of art. There's no subscription to get that artwork or get that content. I also understand you'll be able to update, you'll be able to put your own artwork, you'll be able to point your television or your display at your own content as well. So just waiting to get the confirmation on exactly how that all works, because we don't have these things in our hand just yet. But the part that Sony's developed, obviously, is the display and the content itself. But the folks at Leon have integrated with a built-in motion sensor and light sensor, so that the TV can look at what's happening in the room, and you can configure the TV to be on all the time, or maybe if there's no motion in the room after 30 minutes, turn itself off. Gives you some customization to be able to have the display behave like a piece of artwork if you wanted to, but maybe you want to be a little bit more power conscious. You don't want the display on all the time when you're not in the room, etc. Lots of different ways that you can integrate and customize how the behavior of the TV functions. And of course, you can integrate this TV using Sony's IP control. So if you want to turn it on and off with IP, if you want to set scenes, that kind of stuff, those are all possibilities that you can reach for, you can integrate with the X93. I see the question that does the TV respond to light intensity in the room? Yes, there's a light sensor that's built into the frame. So the TV will respond and perform based on the lighting conditions in the room. Again, all of that stuff is customizable. So art is very beautifully rendered. Again, there's no subscription needed. I know from playing around with previous versions of this app and playing around with Living Decor, an app that's already on Sony TVs, the matte size can be changed. The matte color can be changed. Again, the size of the picture on the screen can be changed. So you can really do a pretty convincing job of like a frosted glass, or maybe sort of a slightly opaque or matte finish on a screen for framed artwork. Again, I think it does a pretty convincing job of rendering hey, here's what artwork looks like, or here's your favorite picture, or here's a beautiful work of art. And oh, hey, by the way, when you're ready to watch the game, you've got a fantastic performing TV set. You've got the best of the best out there as far as mini LED technology goes. So it's no slouch when it comes to being able to do the TV part of frame TV, right? So I think that's really the big takeaway from all of this is, trying to strike that balance between integration, trying to make sure that it's all going to fit, where you're going to put all the wires. This is a great way to make sure that you've got a nice, tidy install that's all in one place. Your connectivity is going to be simplified, and the room is going to be beautified with great pictures, whether they're moving or they're still works of art. So there's 4 custom finishes available. So we've got a studio oak, we've got a studio walnut, we've got a studio grain white, and then they've got a studio grain studio matte black. So you've got 4 different color options currently. And just want to make sure that we're clear on this point. Right now, this is a 2-step process. You have to order the frame kit from Leon, order the display, and order the bracket from Tech Data, from ExpressNet. And we recommend that you use the SUWL 855 slim wall bracket from Sony. It's really purpose built and engineered to make sure that the gap behind the TV is only like 3/8 of an inch, something like that. So really gets the TV directly up against the wall. But that's a short-term solution. Leon has made it simple for you to be able, if you don't want to be a Leon dealer, you just want to be a frame customer, they've made it simple for you to be able to order just the frame kit for the displays. But that's a short run window. As we move into 2024, you will be able to order the kit, you'll be able to order the television, you'll be able to order the bracket, you'll be able to order the entire thing directly as a one unit or one bundle, if you will, from Tech Data. So stay tuned for updates on that. But in the short term, if you're interested in installing, selling, putting a frame kit out there, please reach out to your local rep to make sure that we're getting you all of the right information, the right directions on when is this thing going to be available. As we understand it now, we're going to be probably mid-December when we start to ship this product. So we still got a little bit of runway before we start to see it in earnest, in mass availability. But as we move into the first quarter of 2024, again, this is going to be something you'll be able to order directly from Tech Data in a bundle, as a single SKU, or if you will, or a bundled SKU, and have a package that's ready to go and be delivered to a job site to beautify your customer's home and make somebody's day. So any other questions that we can answer for you folks? I'm just going to look here in the chat and see if there's anything that's popped up. So I do see some questions here. I'm not sure if they have a plan for smaller screen sizes currently yet. But if we get that announcement, we will make sure that you guys are the first ones to know. The TV does adapt to the lighting conditions in the room with the addition of the sensors that are built into the frame kit. Let's see, any questions? Looks like John's been answering the most of those. So if there's no other questions, I'd like to, again, thank you guys so much for your time this morning. Really appreciate you guys taking a few minutes out of your day to join us and get the latest and greatest on Sony as we head into 2024. If you joined this session late, we've recorded it. That's great news. But also, if you've got some other team members that would like to join us, we are doing a repeat of this session at 5 o'clock this afternoon. So please join us, hit us up for the recording. We'll post it online here. And again, thank you guys so very much for joining us this morning. Have yourself a fantastic weekend and a great Thanksgiving holiday from all of us here at Oliver Marketing. I'm Jayson Savage, Mr. John Boland, Mr. Chris Barlow. Thank you guys and have a great day.